So on January 23rd, the town of Chapel Hill held 2 community meetings at the Hargrave Center to receive input about a first draft of the West Rosemary Street Development Guide. The purpose of the West Rosemary Development Guide is to offer vision and regulations for the West Rosemary Street corridor with specific attention to economic and commercial development along that corridor. We are asking a question: what would that future development look like using the vision statements of the Northside Neighborhood Conservation District?
The center image, of course, is Rosemary Street, and what makes it so unique is it is the front door to a very strong neighborhood, the Northside neighborhood, and it's just off of the downtown core with Franklin Street.
So during the meeting, the town's consulting firm of Lord Axe Sargent presented visuals that showed us what potential development could look like along the corridor that reflected what we had heard in those previous planning conversations.
One aspect to the development guide is we're trying to approach it both from a community vision in terms of creating and representing what we think the community is saying they want to see on Rosemary Street, but at the same time looking at it from the market perspective and understanding the trade-offs and where there might be differences between what the market is desiring and what the community is desiring. The fundamental trade-offs have to do with the value of the land, and because prices are escalating, it's leading to an economic model that is larger buildings and denser and taller buildings. As we develop the development guide, we are thinking that might include 4 key pieces: a development framework of the big picture vision. Second, which we think is really important, is a series of guidelines related to the streets and parks or the public realm. The third is the largest piece, which is obviously the guidelines that address the actual architecture and the building design. And then the last piece, which will, I think, continue to evolve through the next few months, is are there community benefits that we should be aware of that aren't just the physical bricks and mortar, but are more economic or social or cultural benefits that we can seek out of new development. In the meetings we held on January 23rd and 24th, we asked a series of 5 key questions and got a lot of great feedback from folks. One is just, can we explain what a development guide is and what it might include? Secondly, we asked folks to help us with that big picture and make sure we got it right. Third, we asked people to give us feedback on the most important guidelines for those streets and the public spaces. Fourth was input on the preliminary ideas about possible building design guidelines. And lastly, we've started to talk about and acknowledge the impacts physical development's having on the neighborhood, and also think about ways we could harness new development to have community benefits in the future.
So we are going to take the feedback that we heard during the meeting and create further visuals that represent the guidelines that we're trying to put together for this corridor. We want your input. So even if you didn't attend this meeting, please come to the next meeting on February 20th. And also you can offer your input at www.townofchapelhill.org/Rosemary.